Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, June 18th, 2021. Today I'm going to recap Wednesday night's and yesterday's Stanley Cup playoffs, NBA playoffs, Major League Baseball, WNBA games. Look ahead to tonight and the weekend's games. We'll go over the current leaderboard of the U.S. Open. We will preview and predict the winners of the NASCAR races from Nashville. We'll go over the latest news and notes and my best bet of the day. We will start with the Stanley Cup playoffs. We will start with Wednesday night. The Montreal Canadiens with the 3-2 victory over the Vegas Golden Knights to even up that series at 1 apiece. And then last night, Lightning over the Islanders 2-1 to take a 2-1 series lead. Tonight, 8 o'clock on the USA Network, we have the Golden Knights against the Canadiens from Montreal. It's a big game in the series all of a sudden. Not like every game's a big game, but like this is bigger than we thought it would be before the series started. As the Golden Knights are favored minus 159, Montreal's plus 135, over under 5.5, overs plus 117, unders minus 141, Vegas minus 1.5 is plus 170, Montreal plus 1.5 is minus 205. Boy, have things changed, and it's because of Montreal's performance in Game 2. I'm going Vegas in regulation plus 106 at Montreal. So there you have it for the pick. Vegas plus 106 at Montreal. Saturday, Game 4, Lightning Islanders. The Lightning are minus 134. The Islanders are plus 114. Over under 5. Over minus 132. Unders plus 110. Lightning plus minus 1.5 is 2-1. Islanders plus 1.5 is minus 245. I'm going with the Islanders as the home underdog plus 114 to even up this series at 2-all. And then Sunday, 8 o'clock on NBCSN, you have the Golden Knights and the Canadiens, Game 4. We don't have any lines up for this yet, but if I had to make an early call, I'm going to say that Vegas wins both games. Montreal, I went Vegas in 5, and predicting that Montreal would win 1 of the 5, so I'm going to say Vegas goes up 3-1 as we head out of the weekend. Alrighty, to the NBA playoffs we go to cover. So many interesting results that happened between last night and the night before. So we're going to get right into it. Wednesday night, Hawks over the 76ers, 109-106 to take a 3-2 series lead as the Hawks come back from 26 down to win. Trae Young, 39 points, 7 assists. Joel Embiid, 37 points, 13 boards. Clippers over the Jazz, 119-111, take a 3-2 series lead on the back of Paul George, 37 points, 16 boards, 5 assists. When Paul George is the man, he really reminds people how good he could be. And as a number 2, he's good, but I feel like people forget how good Paul George really is. And Bojan Bogdanovic, 32 points to lead the scoring for the Utah Jazz. And then last night, Bucks over the Nets, 104-89 to force a Game 7. Chris Middleton, 38 points and 5 assists. Kevin Durant had 32 and 11 to keep Brooklyn in the game. And now Friday, we have 2 Game 6s, 7:30 ESPN, the 76ers and the Hawks. The Hawks can close out the Sixers. Amazing, right? And again, I'm going to go back to doing projections and all that when I return from vacation next week. And when the podcasts return to normal schedule on Monday. The Sixers are favored by 3 totals to 21. I'm going to lay the 3 with Philly. I think they force a Game 7. I know that crowd in Atlanta is going to be ruckus. But I think this could be a moment here for Joel Embiid. So give me the Sixers minus the 3 to force a Game 7 back in Philadelphia on Sunday. And then at 10 o'clock, you have the Jazz against the Clippers. Jazz are 1.5-point favorites, total 219.5. That's obviously the no Kawhi line in this game. This is a tough one, guys. The funny thing is that the Clippers have never made a conference final in their franchise's history. They have a chance to do so. Their best player is hurt. Paul George really has stepped up his game. He's been awesome. And you know what? I think it's going to happen. Give me the Clips plus 102 straight up and plus 1.5 against the spread. I really think it's going to happen. Maybe Kawhi will be back for the next round against the Suns assuming the Clippers win this game. My pick was Clippers in 6. I'm going to stick with it. So Clippers plus 1.5 and plus 102 to move on to the conference finals. And then Saturday night, Game 7, 8:30 TNT, the Bucks and the Nets from Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. The Bucks are favored by a half, total 216. Maybe they're fearing no Kyrie and no Harden. I think Brooklyn's going to win this game. I don't know why Milwaukee's half-point favorite, but it's really just a pick 'em. They're each minus 109. But Milwaukee's favored by the half, which is silly. I'm going Brooklyn minus 109. They're the better team. You could argue the Bucks are better without Kyrie between the two teams. But the way Kevin Durant's playing, James Harden actually looked decent in Game 6 despite them not winning. I don't trust the Milwaukee role players on the road. I trust Giannis. I think Drew Holiday could play well. I think Middleton could hit some shots, and then obviously you have the revenge factor that is Brook Lopez, who was a long-time net, now on the Bucks. But I'm going to go with Brooklyn. I picked Brooklyn in 7 before the series. I'm sticking with my gut. Brooklyn minus 109, they'll win Game 7 and go to the Eastern Conference Final to take on the winner of Philadelphia and Atlanta. And then Sunday, if necessary, Game 7, Clippers Jazz would be 3:30 on ABC. And then Hawks 76ers would be 8 o'clock on TNT. I think the Hawks Sixers Game 7 happens. That'll be a big game. Marv Albert will be on the call for that. And I'm going to say Sixers win these next 2 games. I just don't trust Atlanta. Although they did it at the Garden. And now this is a much bigger animal. Like Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons. This is a much better team than New York. So I think the Hawks could be in for a little bit of a letdown here, potentially. Alrighty, to the Major League Baseball we go. We will go over the results from Wednesday and Thursday, and we will look ahead to Friday and the weekend. All right, so Wednesday, Yanks over the Blue Jays 3-2, Cardinals over the Marlins 1-0, Reds over the Brewers 2-1, Tigers over the Royals 6-5, White Sox over the Rays 8-7 and 10 on a walk-off single by Yasmani Grandal. A's over the Angels 8-4, Nats over the Pirates 3-1, Red Sox over the Braves 10-8, Indians over the Orioles 8-7, Mets over the Cubs 6-3, Astros over the Rangers 8-4. Giants over the Diamondbacks 13-7. Twins over the Mariners 7-2. And the Phillies over the Dodgers 2-0. And then yesterday's results. Indians over the Orioles 10-3. Indians 38-28. Baltimore 22-46. Giants over the Diamondbacks 10-3. Giants 44-25. Arizona 20-50. So 23 straight road losses for Arizona. Cubs over the Mets 2-0. Cubs 39-30. Mets 35-26. Yankees over the Blue Jays 8-4. Yankees 36-32. Toronto 33-34. Braves over the Cardinals 4-0. The Braves 31-35. St. Louis 35-34. Astros over the White Sox 10-2. The Astros 40-28. Chicago 43-26. Padres over the Reds 6-4. The Padres 39-32. Cincinnati 35-32. Rockies over the Brewers, 7-3. The Rockies, 29-41. Milwaukee, 38-31. Angels over the Tigers, 5-7. The Angels, 34-35. Detroit, 29-40. And the Mariners over the Rays, 6-5. The Mariners, 35-36. Tampa, 43-27. All right. Tonight's game, 7 o'clock, A's Yankees. James Caprillion, Jamison Tyon. Indians, Pirates. Juan Carlos Mejia and Chad Cole. Mets, Nats. Joey Lucchesi, Joe Ross. Blue Jays, Orioles. Robbie Ray, Bruce Zimmerman. Cards, Braves, Carlos Martinez, Max Fried. I'm sorry, guys, all week for not doing the in-depth baseball picks because I'm on vacation, so I really don't have time to do all that. So Monday will begin your normal podcast. All right, 8 o'clock, Miami Cubs, Pablo Lopez, Zach Davies. Twins, Rangers, Jose Barrios and Mike Foltynewicz. Red Sox, Royals. Nick Pivetta, we don't know who's going for KC. White Sox, Astros. Carlos Rodon and Luis Garcia. 8:30 Brewers, Rockies, Corbin Burns and Antonio Senzatella. 9:30 Tigers, Angels, Jose Urena and Alex Cobb. 9:30 Diamondbacks and hosting the Dodgers, Trevor Bauer and Caleb Smith. 9:45 Phillies, Giants, Vince Velasquez, Johnny Cueto. 10 o'clock Reds, Padres. Tony Santillan and Chris Paddock, and Rays, Mariners, Michael Wacha and Yusei Kikuchi. Saturday, 1 o'clock, A's Yankees. Chris Bassett, Domingo Germán. Mets, Nats, Game 1. David Peterson, John Lester. 2 o'clock, or 2:20 Marlins, Cubs. Braxton Garrett and Jake Arrieta. 4 o'clock, Indians, Pirates. Cal Quantrill, Will Crow. Twins, Rangers. We know it's going for Minnesota, and Colby Howard's going for Texas. Phillies, Giants. Aaron Nola and Alex Wood. Blue Jays, Orioles. Alek Manoah and Dean Kremer. Red Sox, Royals. Martin Perez and Chris Bubic. 6 o'clock, doubleheader game 2. Mets, Nats. We don't know who the pitchers are in that game. The Fox game, 7:15. White Sox, Astros. Lance Lynn, Framber Valdez. Great game. Great game. Should be the Joe Buck game. But it's probably going to be Cardinals, Braves. Adam Wainwright and Drew Smyly. Reds, Padres is a good game, too. Vladimir Guerrero and Dinelson Lamet. 9 o'clock, Brewers, Rockies. Adrian Hauser and Austin Gomber. 10 o'clock, Fox Sports 1, Tigers, Angels, Willie Peralta and Patrick Sandoval. Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Walker Buehler, Matt Peacock. And Rays, Mariners, Josh Fleming and Logan Gilbert. Sunday, 1 o'clock, A's, Yankees. Sean Manaea, Jordan Montgomery. Indians, Pirates, Sam Hentges and JT Brubaker. Mets, Nationals, Taijuan Walker, Patrick Corbin. Blue Jays, Orioles, Hyunjin Ryu, Matt Harvey. Red Sox, Royals, at 2 o'clock, Nate Eovaldi and Brad Keller. White Sox, Astros, Dallas Keuchel and Lance McCullers Jr. 2:20 Marlins, Cubs, Trevor Rogers and Alec Mills. 2:30 Twins, Rangers, Kenta Maeda and Dane Dunning. 3 o'clock Brewers, Rockies, Eric Lauer and Chichi Gonzalez. 4 o'clock Phillies, Giants, Spencer Howard and Sammy Long. Tigers, Angels, Casey Mize and Dylan Bundy. Reds, Padres, Luis Castillo and Yu Darvish. Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Tony Gonsolin, and we don't know who's going for Arizona. Rays, Mariners, Shane McClanahan and Marco Gonzalez. And then Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, the Cardinals and the Braves, Kwang Hyun Kim, and we don't know who's going for Atlanta. Kind of thought that this would be the Sunday night game. They're living off of last year. The Braves are not good this year, as we know so far. And even the Cardinals have underachieved to some degree. I mean, they're just very quiet, sitting there with only one game over 500. All right, to the WNBA we go. We'll recap the results from the last couple of days, and we will look ahead to the weekend coming up. Wednesday, Sparks over to Mercury, 85-80. Commissioner's Cup, Sparks 5-5, Phoenix 5-7. Thursday, Aces over to Liberty, 103-76. Aces 10-3, Liberty 6-6. Storm over to Fever, 79-69. Storm 12-2. Indiana 1-13. Commissioner's Cup, Mystics over to Dream, 96-93. Mystics 5-6. Atlanta 5-7. Sky over to Sun, 175. Commissioner's Cup, Sky 6-7. Connecticut 8-4. Almost said UConn there. And then Commissioner's Cup, Lynx over the Wings 85-73. Lynx 5-6. Dallas 5-7. Only one game tonight, 10:30 on CBS Sports Network. Mercury Sparks. Both these teams are desperate. The Mercury, I think, needed a little bit more. They should not be 5-7. And it's Saturday, 2 o'clock on CBS. How about CBS getting WNBA? Sun in the sky. 7 o'clock, Commissioner's Cup, Fever Mystics. And 8 o'clock, the Lynx and the Wings. And then Sunday, 4 o'clock on ESPN, you have the Liberty and the Sparks. So that's an interesting game for the mothership to air. Alrighty. Now we will go over the current results of the U.S. Open. It is indeed off to an interesting start, as most golf tournaments are. And in front right now is a tie with a score of 4 under. Luis Olsen and Russell Henley. Tied for third with 3 under, Rafa Cabrera Bello and Francesco Molinari. Tied for fifth with 2 under, Sebastian Munoz, John Rahm, Hideki Matsuyama, Xander Schauffele, Hayden Buckley, and Brooks Koepka. Tied for 11th with 1 under, Eduardo Molinari, Patrick Rogers, Fabian Gomez, Tyrell Hatton, Matthew Wolff, Matt Fitzpatrick, Adam Hadwin, Taylor Montgomery, Adam Scott, Richard Bland, Patrick Cantlay, Rory McIlroy, and Thomas Detry. 24th at even. My pick of Daniel Berger, Grayson Sigg, Marcus Armatagi, Guido Miguelizzi, Siwoo Kim, Caleb Schwartzel, Andrew Kozan, Robert McIntyre, Lee Westwood, Paul Casey, Sergio Garcia, Dustin Johnson, Kevin Stroman, Cam Smith, Ryuka Hashino, Dylan Wu, and Rick Lamb. All right, now we're going to go through notables. I have 41st place with 1 over, Tommy Fleetwood, Harry English, Shane Lowry, JT Potson, Scotty Scheffler, Bubba Watson, Patrick Reed, Sungjae Im, Brendan Steele, Matt Jones. Tied for 61st with 2 over, Mackenzie Hughes, Justin Thomas, Kevin Kisner, Abraham Answer, Jason Kokrak, Dylan Fratelli, Bryson DeChambeau. Tied for 78th with 3 over, Evan Van Rooyen, Matt Wallace, Ian Poulter, Gary Woodland, Victor Hovland, Brett Horschel, Tony Finau. Tied for 96th with 4 over, Jonathan Vegas, Colin Mariqua, Phil Mickelson, Corey Connors, Joaquin Niemann, Wyndham Clark. Tied for 110th with 5 over, Cam Champ, Ryan Palmer, Ches Ravi, Zach Johnson, Lucas Griffin. JJ Spawn is in the tie for 129th with 6 over, as well as Kevin Na. And Jordan Spieth, which is not good for him. Brock Steward's in there as well. Tied for 146 with 7 over, Justin Rose, Bo Hogg, Robbie Shelton. And that's it among your notables. All right, now we'll move on to NASCAR, as they'll be racing from Nashville. The only starting lineup we have is the Cup Series, so we're just going to go through the odds for trucks and Xfinity, and then we will do starting lineup and picks for Cup. We'll start with trucks. It is the Rackley Roofing 200. So the odds. John Hunter Nemechek's the plus 225 favorite. Sheldon Creed's plus 550. Austin Hill's plus 750. William Byron's 10-1. Ben Rhodes and Zane Smith are 11-1. Ross Chasen's 12-1. Grant Effinger's 14-1. Stuart Friesen's 16-1. Matt Crafton 20-1. Todd Gilliland and Ryan Preece are each 25-1. Carson Hocevar and Chandler Smith are 30-1. Drew Dollar's 33-1. Tyler Ankrum, Josh Berry, and Johnny Sauter are 40-1. Everybody's darling. Any other drivers, 66-1. Parker Kligerman and Drew Krause are 80-1. Tanner Gray, Ty Majeski, and Jack Wood are 100-1. My pick here, I'm going to go with a simple pick. We'll just go Austin Hill at plus 750. So there you have it for my pick for the Rackley Roofing 200 for the trucks. The Xfinity, the Tennessee Lottery 250. Kyle Busch is a minus 134 favorite. Justin Allgaier and Austin Cindric are plus 550. AJ Allmendinger's 12-1. Harrison Burton, Noah Gragson, Daniel Hemrick, and Tyler Riddick are all 14-1. Josh Berry's 20-1. Brandon Jones is 25-1. Justin Haley's 40-1. Any other driver 66-1. Jeb Burton and Austin Hill are 80-1. Michael Annett, Riley Herbst, Brett Moffitt 100-1. Brandon Brown, Matt Snyder 150-1. Ryan Seeks 250-1. And Jeremy Clements, Alex Lab, Josh Williams, and JJ Yeley are all 500-1. My pick here, I'm going to go with, AJ Allmendinger 12-1 to win the Tennessee Lottery 250. And last but not least, Cup Series, the Alley 400. I am going to go over the starting lineup for the race, because that's the only starting lineup. Oh, it's not available. Never mind about that. Google said it was available, so Google lied. All right, Kyle Larson's a plus 275 favorite. Martin Truex is plus 650. Chase Elliott's 7-1. Danny Hamlin's plus 850. Kyle Busch is 9-1. William Byron and Brad Keselowski are each 12-1. Kevin Harvick and Joey Logano are each 13-1. And Alex Bowman 14-1. Ryan Blaney 16-1. Chris Bell, Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick each 40-1. Kurt Busch is 50-1. Matt DiBenedetto is 80-1. Chris Buescher, Ross Chasen, each 125-1. Eric Almirola and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. each 150-1. Colt Custer, Eric Jones, Michael McDowell, Ryan Newman, Daniel Suarez, each 200-1. Chase Briscoe and Bubba Wallace are each 250-1. Ryan Preece is 400-1. Corey LaJoie and Anthony Alfredo are 750-1. Quinn Houff, Josh Bilicki, Chad Fincham, Joey Gase, Justin Haley, BJ McClay, Garrett Smithley, JJ Yeley, and David Starr are all 1,500-1. So my pick here, let's go with Denny Hamlin plus 850 to win the Alley 400. I know I've been picking Denny Hamlin a lot on the podcast, but I think this is a good spot for one of the more talented drivers that we have in NASCAR. All right, now we'll do news and notes. There's a lot of things to get to today, especially in the NBA. We know how big of an NBA day it was in the news and notes segment a couple of days ago. So let's get right into it. The Pelicans have fired Stan Van Gundy. This really shouldn't be a surprise to anybody because Stan did not do a great job, amazingly enough. I like Stan Van Gundy, but expectations were high and he failed to deliver, and that organization wants to win now because they have a top, dare I say, 25 player in Zion Williamson. So they want to win now, and Van Gundy just wasn't it. And now they're looking again, and two candidates for this job are Jason Kidd and Teresa Weatherspoon. And Weatherspoon is a serious candidate. And she has a story from last month that will get people pretty fired up. And another coach that's available is Rick Carlisle, as he stepped down as the Mavericks coach, which was shocking. There's tension between Luka and Carlisle, as there's been some simmering tension between the Mavs star and the head coach before Carlisle resigned. And now there's rumblings that Carlisle could replace Mike Budenholzer if the Bucks decide to make a change. And also with the Mavericks is that Donnie Nelson also left. Donnie Nelson's stalemate with Mark Cuban led to his firing, despite Mavs saying it was mutual. So that was a firing, and Carlisle stepped down. I feel like Carlisle might have been somewhat fired. I kind of think that Luka Doncic is getting everything he wants here, because I think the Mavericks panicked because there were rumblings that Luka wasn't happy. So these firings are panic moves. Yeah, Carlisle probably time definitely has run its course with him in Dallas. He's been there a long time. And probably the longest tenured head coach other than Greg Popovich is probably Eric Spoelstra with the Heat, which is wild. And back to the Pelicans here for the second. Zion's family wants him to leave the Pelicans, and they want him on another team, which is wild. And maybe the Pelicans were panicking, and that's why they fired Stan Van Gundy. I feel like some of these teams are making panic moves in the front office to make their stars happy because of reports that could very well be fake. You never know. And they could very well be real. And the Pelicans could leave New Orleans, as the franchise is viewed as the most likely team to seek relocation after their lease runs out in 2024, which is crazy. Jimmy Butler not playing for Team USA, as he will bypass participation in the Tokyo Olympics. John Calipari eyeing NBA head coaching jobs, as Yahoo Sports is reporting that he is open to jumping back into the NBA. Is he looking at the Pelicans or the Mavericks with Luka and Zion? So Luka and Zion's teams now have openings, and potentially Giannis's team too, depending on what happens on Saturday night. LaMelo Ball won the Rookie of the Year, beating out Anthony Edwards and Tyrese Halliburton. And Anthony Edwards was not happy, as he posted 2 emojis and a warning to the NBA after he lost to LaMelo. The all-rookie teams, LaMelo, Anthony Edwards lead the way, with Tyrese Halliburton, Sadiq Bey, and Jae'Sean Tate. And then the second team was Emmanuel Quickley, Desmond Bane, Isaiah Stewart, Isaac Okoro, and Patrick Williams. So those are your all-rookie teams for the season. Kawhi is out of Game 6 tonight. So we know that, and he'll probably be out for the Game 7 that's highly anticipated as well. Jay Glazer reports that Aaron Rodgers still wants out of Green Bay. So, looks like he still wants out. And Jay Glazer is awesome at his job. He predicted the Odell Beckham Jr. Giants trade like 2 months before it happened, and everyone thought he was crazy. And he knew. He knew that the Giants made him available. So, this guy is smart. He knows what he's talking about, and now we still know that he wants out. So Tom Brady has a Madden curse suit, as EA Sports put some new gear together to protect the GOAT from the infamous curse in a skit. Andy Reid is rooting for Le'Veon Bell as he took the high road after Bell said he'd never play for him again. He said, "I'm pulling for him. That's how I roll." That's very nice. And joining Brady on the Madden cover is Patrick Mahomes. Something really, really awesome. TJ Olsen rings the bell as Greg Olsen's son celebrates his successful heart transplant by ringing the hospital bell. And Greg Olsen posted the video on Twitter. That was very awesome to see. Hopefully TJ Olsen gets well soon. Naomi Osaka withdraws from the Wimbledon in order to take care of personal time with friends and family. So that's a big loss for tennis for the Wimbledon. Cole Anthony was unhappy with his all-rookies team snub as he goes, "Y'all are mad disrespectful," and like the laughing crying emoji. LaMelo Ball had a fun reaction to Rookie of the Year as he was a step slow realizing he won, but his celebration with Miles Bridges was worth the wait. Giannis says that Kevin Durant is the best player as he praised him after the epic Game 5 performance. Yankees trade Mike Ford to the Rays for cash and a player to be named later. They had no room for Mike Ford. Chris Gittens, they're starting to get a look at as their backup first baseman, Luke Voit, and Luke Voit should be back soon. So that's what that trade tells me. Or they're trying to acquire an outfielder, which is what they need because with Aaron Hicks out for the year. They need somebody in the outfield. They need some depth there. A $2 Major League Baseball parlay wins $12,000 as a bettor didn't miss a single game on the entire Major League Baseball slate, which is insane. Diamondbacks set the road losing record, 23 straight losses on the road after getting swept by the Giants. Reds prospect Hunter Green throws 104 miles per hour. As the broadcast said, 101, but the team confirms their starter prospect threw 104 in a AAA debut tonight. All right, so Jets offensive lineman Dan Feeney has an epic beer chug at the Islanders game as he slammed the beer in seconds and smashed the can on his head and then got the crowd going. Ron Brindamore wins the Jack Adams Award over Minnesota's Dean Evison and Florida's Joel Quenneville. I think Brindamore did a nice job this year getting that team to win a good division over the Lightning and the Panthers and the Preds. But I think Dean Evison was robbed. Dean Evison, the Wild, were not supposed to be good, and they were good. They took Vegas to 7, and Vegas might win the Cup. So I think Dean Evison should have been the coach of the year. He was definitely robbed, and I think Joel Quenneville, I would have picked him over Brindamore as well because Florida overachieved as well. But to me, Florida has more talent than Minnesota, and obviously Carolina does too. But Dean Evison should have been the Jack Adams Award winner, not Ron Brindamore. Brindamore should have finished third, in my opinion. Wild NHL ticket prices. The lowest Islanders ticket was $829, and Vegas was $822, and two of the most expensive ever for low prices. The Chicago Blackhawks alleged sexual abuse as the team allegedly refused to file a police report in 2010 after two players said video coach sexually assaulted them. Yikes. That's wild. I wonder if the league is going to do something about this. We'll see. Jack Eichel trade talks heating up as the Sabres are eyeing a 2021 first-round pick for the star center as talks have gotten more intense and serious. So I think he's going to be traded. I think the New York Rangers are a viable candidate. They're a win-now team. I I think that the Canadians should be in play for Eichel. If he was on Montreal right now, then they might be up 2-0 on Vegas. Or darn close. But maybe if he's on Montreal next year, then that's going to be a cup contender potentially. But they need more help than just Eichel. They need more offense. Jimmy Kimmel, the sponsor of Bowl Game, as the talk show host to be the title sponsor of the inaugural Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl, set for December 18th at SoFi Stadium. That's a good honor for Jimmy Kimmel to have. He's one of the best late-night talk show hosts we have. And it's cool that he is going to be a sponsor for a bowl game. And he's a big sports guy, too. Christian and Max McCaffrey rip Scott Frost after the Nebraska coach threw shade at their younger brother, Luke. Yikes. And two more. Alex Bradman has a quad injury as the Astros third baseman left Wednesday night's game with a quad strain. And Jason Spezza returning to the Maple Leafs on a 1-year deal on the league minimum to stay with the Maple Leafs. All right, so that's it for news and notes today. And last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by DraftKings, the last best bet of my vacation. I really haven't looked at the baseball stuff, and now I'm just doing a quick glance to see. I'm going over 7.5 in Rays Mariners. That's a low number. I think that the Rays offense could potentially do this alone. Michael Wacha hasn't been that good this year, so over 7.5 between the Rays and the Mariners tonight. For my best bet of the day, it's at -110. All right, so there you have it for the show. I'll be back on Monday, back from home, unfortunately, for me. Recapping everything that goes on tonight and today and the rest of the weekend, and look ahead to everything going on Monday. I'll finally do my 2020 NHL redraft on Monday, and then we're back to normal schedule. We might have a couple guests on Monday and Tuesday to talk hockey and NBA playoffs, as well as some other stuff. And obviously news and notes and best bet on Monday's show as well. Hope you guys have a great weekend, everyone.